It's a good thing that our teacher dismissed us early.
Yeah. We're under its joke off.
Guys! Sorry! I'm sorry, I'm late. I'm from my class.
Judge the jungle. What's up? What's new?
Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited! Oh my god, me too!
Yeah, I'm nervous.
Really? So
Who's
guys,
gonna win?
I think it's
Brunei.
No, it's Philippines.
No, it's Indonesia.
I think it's Philippines.
What? Malaysia.
I don't think so. It's Philippines. Come on, guys. Let's watch now. Let's go inside.
Wait, that. Guys, just wake me up when the show starts, okay? Thanks.
Okay.
Guys, it's starting. Wait,
What?
oh my God!
It's Philippines!
Oh my God!
Oh my God, Philippines!
Malaysia! No, Indonesia! Go Indonesia!
Philippines!
Live from the largest city in the Philippines, Davao, four of the world's beautiful women who travel from the four corners of Asia compete for the most prestigious title in the world, Miss BIMP-EAGA 2013.
Miss Malaysia! Miss Brunei! Let's wave our hands for Miss Indonesia! And last but not the least, Miss Philippines!
Wow! What a beautiful ladies we got here.
I know, right, partner? But before we begin, let us get to know first if who is this BIMP-EAGA. Thank you, Aquarasia, for the wonderful clip. In addition, here is another video about how the BIMP-EAGA operates.
So how does the BIMP-EAGA operate? The BIMP-EAGA operates through its institutional structure in which it is intended to effectively support private sector participation in the sub-region's development activities. The principal mechanism for consultations between and among the participating countries is the Senior Officials and Ministers Meeting, or the SOM. The SOM provides the strategic directions and general policy guidelines in addition to drawing the attention of the central government to the development requirements of the focal areas. Consistent with the decision to adopt a decentralized structure, no central secretariat was initially established in BIMP-EAGA. Instead, each participating country designated a ministry or agency that would act as the respective national secretariat. The national secretariat is the focal point for the exchange of information and coordination of programs related to the growth area and is tasked with ensuring that in-country initiatives are maintained. National secretariats are also provide administrative support to the ministers and senior officials. Working groups representing the priority sectors of cooperation were established to first identify the opportunities and constraints to cooperation development, second, formulate the action plans to accelerate growth in the sub-region, and third, to provide the strategic direction in the identified sectors of cooperation. It is composed of representatives from the appropriate government agencies, both at the national and sub-regional levels and individuals and groups representing the private sector from the focal area. It provides the flexibility to address a wide range of issues and demands, and this is also at the level of the working groups where diverse interests, issues and priorities of the public and private sectors converge and where project priorities are identified. The following is the matrix of the working group cluster. In 1994, East ASEAN Business Council or EABC was established as a result of several private sector initiatives around the growth area that started as early as the late 1970s. EABC was meant to act as the voice of the private sector, raising their concerns during working group meetings and the SOM, as well as envoy to the EAGA government. Membership in the EABC is open without restrictions to nationality. Individuals and organizations that play a role in the economic development of EAGA. EABC is led by a board composed of representatives from private sector organizations from each of the 4 member countries. In 2003, BIMP-EAGA Business Council successfully carried out its organizational restructuring. With the restructuring, BIMP-EAGA is now refocusing its attention and emphasis towards the development of small and medium enterprises or SMEs. It also has a permanent secretariat manages the day-to-day operations of the organization. And the primary objectives of the BIMP are the following. First is to promote economic development and other business activities in all the participating subregions of BIMP-EAGA in support of the interests of its members and for the greater prosperity and welfare of EAGA citizens. Second is to foster closer relationships and economic cooperation among business organizations in the EAGA. Third is to deal with issues of common concern and to disseminate information of common interest to its members. Fourth is to make representation on behalf of the EABC's members to the involved governments and to provide liaison between businesses or other economic entities and relevant government authorities within EAGA. And advocate for policies, plans, projects, and regulatory changes that will enhance the economic development of the sub-region.
Before we formally start the competition, let us introduce first our panel of judges. Take it from the top, John.
Thank you, Jimmy. Our first judge is from Brunei. His Majesty Hassan Al-Bolkiah. Our second judge is from Indonesia, President Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono. Our third judge is from Malaysia, Prime Minister Najib Razak. And lastly, His Excellency Benigno Aquino III. And he will complete our panel of judges.
And now the long wait is over. Let us now witness our contestants in their question and answer portion.
This question is for Ms. Brunei from the President of the Philippines, Benigno Aquino III. So the question is, how did the BIMP-EAGA started?
Thank you for that wonderful question, Mr. President. So it began with the initiative of President Fidel V. Ramos of the Philippines wanting to expand economic cooperation with Brunei, Indonesia, and Malaysia. It was first formally declared and signed on March 24, 1994 at Davao City. So additional to that, there are 4 pillars of BIMP-EAGA. First is connectivity, second is food basket, third is tourism and environment, and lastly, to improve economic development and also narrow the gap between the members of the BIMP-EAGA.
Thank you, Ms. Brunei. This question is for Ms. Malaysia from the President of Indonesia, Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono. So the question is, what are the challenges that the BIMP-EAGA is facing?
challenges faced with the BIMP-EAGA is a territorial expansion in South. Despite playing second or string to South China Sea's territories, the ghost of Sabah issue resurfaced again after a violent standoff between loyal followers of the Sultan of Sabah and Malaysian troops intending to overreach the Hadbab.
Thank you, Ms. Malaysia. This question is for Ms. Malaysia from the Prime Minister of Malaysia, Dato Sri Najib. So the question is, what are the achievements of the World Triumph?
There has been a lot of achievements that the BIMP-EAGA has achieved. First will be the establishment of the BIMP-EAGA Facilitation Center that was established in 2008. This facilitation center is to ensure that the coordination among the various organizations engaged in the BIMP-EAGA initiative will lead to BIMP-EAGA development. Another would be the implementation of the Fifth Freedom Traffic Crimes, in which it is a result of the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding on the expansion of air linkages in BIMP-EAGA during the third BIMP-EAGA summit that was held in Cebu City last January 12, 2007. Another achievement would be the strengthening of the BIMP-EAGA and the ASEAN collaboration. BIMP-EAGA welcomed the contact of the ASEAN Secretariat BIMP-EAGA consultation last March 4, 2030, with the agenda of aligning the BIMP-EAGA development with the ASEAN Community Goal in 2015. That will be all. Thank you!
Thank you, Ms. Indonesia.
And for you, Binibining Filipinas, the question is from the President of Brunei, Majesty National Bolkia, and the question is, what do you think is the future of the East Asia Growth Triangle?
So the future of IAGA is clearly dependent on to what extent member countries can cope with their domestic problems. Similar phenomenon happened with ASEAN, in which its function as regional economic integration has been subordinated by the dominance of political dispute bilaterally and multilaterally. Mabuhay!
Thank you, Ms. Philippines.
Wow, that was such a heart-pounding, jaw-dropping, amazing round. I can really see that the contestants weren't nervous at all.
Yes, right. I can now feel partly who's gonna be the winner. I guess it will be...
You guys are so excited. Before we proceed to our revealing of the winners, let us watch this video.
To improve the information and communications technology, or ICT literacy, in the rural community through the ICT Rural Outreach Program, or IROP. They commended the ICT sector for the successful launching of Phase 1 of the BIMP-EAGA Ring project as a stepping stone to develop the BIMP-EAGA region as a communications hub. They are pleased to note the convening of the inaugural information BIMP-EAGA Telecommunications, which provided further direction in moving the ICT agenda forward.
Wow, BIMP-EAGA is really benevolent. What amazes me more is that they have a lot of activities done yearly just to foster cooperation between the member countries.
The 9th BIMP-EAGA Summit was held on April 25, 2013 in Bandar Seri Begawan, Brunei Darussalam, to review the progress of cooperation and to provide further direction in the pursuit of the shared vision of establishing BIMP-EAGA as a regional food basket and ecotourism destination to enhance connectivity for trade and investment while ensuring sustainable management of the environment. It reiterated the importance of sub-regional economic cooperation of BIMP-EAGA as a strategy in supporting the realization of ASEAN communities.
The Philippines hosted the 7th Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines East Asian Growth Areas BIMP-EAGA Friendship Games last December 2012. South Sargent Region, provinces of South Cotabato, Sarangani, and General Santos City will be the venue of this year's edition of the Games. The 7 sports to be contested: athletics, badminton, lawn tennis, pencaksilat, sepak takraw, swimming, and table tennis. A friendly golf tournament will also be conducted for the chefs de mission, assistant chef de mission, and sports ministers who attended the said friendship games. A trade show or exhibit showing the culture, traditions, services, and products of the BIMP-EAGA member nations will also be staged simultaneous with the games.
So I guess I will be expecting more from this triangular cooperation.
So what are we looking forward with the BIMP-EAGA? Trade will still continue to be one of the main cornerstones of the cooperation. In fact, the total trade value of BIMP-EAGA grew significantly by 75% from $100 billion in 2009 to $170 billion in 2011. The triangular cooperation is working forward to the finalization of the priority infrastructure projects since the endorsement of Implementation Blueprint 2012-2016 during the 8th BIMP-EAGA Summit in 2012 as the result-based monitoring and evaluation framework to provide indicators and assessment of the substantive outcomes and impacts of the projects to the community. And for that, the BIMP-EAGA is expressing its gratitude for the Regional Development Advisor, the Asian Development Bank, for their continued assistance in the operationalization of the Implementation Blueprint 2012-2016 and in the provision of technical assistance projects in supporting the development of connectivity infrastructure and trade facilitation. The BIMP-EAGA is also glad to announce its engagement with China and Japan. The Growth Triangle is looking forward to greater cooperation by all stakeholders to establish actual joint venture undertakings with China and with Japan. Japan and the BIMP-EAGA has already tasked its senior officials to identify new development partners.
However, let us face the fact that nobody is fully perfect. Just like everyone else, the BIMP-EAGA also faces crossroads.
The 1997 Asian financial crisis seriously disrupted the growth momentum in IAGA. As the economic environment in Southeast Asia generally weakened, governments refocused their attention to national issues, especially those affecting their traditional financial and industrial centers. In many cases, the decline in government spending on infrastructure effectively slowed down regional development and consequently slowed down implementation of several IAGA initiatives as well. The worst recorded El Niño phenomenon that occurred in 1998 brought severe drought, forest fires, and haze. All these contributed to sharp declines in largely agriculture-based economies of many sub-regional focal areas. Changes the political leadership in Indonesia and the Philippines also contributed to delaying discussions and agreements on the coordination and harmonization of investments, and IAGA private sector, made up mostly of small and medium enterprises, also refocused their efforts on minimizing the impact of the crisis on their business by downsizing or postponing expansion programs, which reduced government support, the private sector's capacity to spur cooperation activities in the sub-region weakened. The most serious challenge of BIMP-EAGA, however, was the perception of waning interest of the 4 participating governments to pursue the Economic Cooperation Initiative. Another challenge highlighted the negative impacts of IAGA Growth Quadrangle. The failure of poverty eradication was one of the social impacts. IAGA seems to be more hopeless when indicated to problems which exist at the national, regional, and global levels and related to each other. Crony capitalism, interreligious conflicts, and process of democracy are major domestic issues that have affected EAGA Bruce's activities. Besides the Asian crisis in 1997, the practice of crony capitalism is related to domestic political culture and the influence of market orientation or economic liberalism.
Wow, BIMP-EAGA is really wonderful. So in line with this, I would like to invite you to their upcoming events.
One of the upcoming events of BIMP-EAGA is the call for participation at 2013 BIMP-EAGA Conference, which will be held on December 16 to 17 at Puerto Princesa City with the theme Strengthening Sub-Regional Socio-Economic, Institutional, and Environmental Cooperation towards ASEAN Community by 2015. It will serve as a venue for both local and international participants to present new research, exchange information, and discuss emergent issues and trends in the region.
And now our judges has already casted their votes. With no further ado, the winner of Miss BIMP-EAGA 2013 is...
What does the fuck?